Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, and I am here for another pick a card reading where we use the tarot to become the alchemist of our lives. A little bit about me: I do not just use the tarot; I use God and cusses in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne the God, it will not stop me. So guys, I am really excited to do this pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is going to be all about what you need to hear right now. I've asked God, what do you need to hear right now? What's your current energy towards whatever you need to hear right now? What's the tool to help you overcome whatever that your current energy is? If you apply this tool, if you use this tool, what will your energy become? As well as wrapping it all up with a beautiful Sacred Rebel oracle for you to hear. So I'm really excited about it. I actually have already pulled the deck, so make sure that you take a time. I will have this timestamps below. I'm going to give you the time to look at these beautiful things. There we go. Just take a time and really think about what card is calling to you. Really think about what you want to hear. Take a breath. Exhale it. And then pick a card. I'll see you at your pile. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our beautiful pile one. Pile one with this beautiful, I think it's called like a seer. It's like a seer crystal, something like this. This is actually something that you will use for meditation. And I'm not going to act like I know all of these stones, but I know this is a meditation stone. So look how beautiful this is. And this is also another stone that is connected to the moon and all that good stuff. So maybe some shadow work that you have to do. Your Starseed card that came out is light. It is time to reveal your radiant light to the world. As I was saying with the moonlight, maybe recently you have kind of been in the shadows. You've kind of been doing just some, maybe you're not somebody that you like to be low key. Maybe you had like a tough childhood, and when you did try to put yourself out there, like shit would just always go wrong. So maybe you're like, that's not for me anymore. But I feel like God is saying, regardless of what happened in your past, it is time for you to take this step. Also, because I pulled all of yours, I made sure that I pulled some other stuff, some underlying energy for this. And the underlying energy for your light is observation. And so what God is saying is that, look around, look at what's going on in the world, and know that maybe the world could be in disarray and chaos because you haven't chosen to step up, because you don't want to share your light, because you're scared or self-conscious. I feel like God said it's time over for that, and it's time for you to step up. So your energy towards sharing your light is, I feel like you have been thinking about it. I think that currently you've just been in this place of where you have been thinking about your achievement. You've been thinking about all the things that you have overcome. And I think because you are in this place that, oh my God, and this makes so much sense, that you are now at this place where you're realizing that you have the ability to transform your world. And that's why I feel like God is saying, I actually feel like this is a confirmation message for you to let you know that you are on the right track. Maybe recently you have been kind of in this place of meditation and you haven't been feeling that natural energy and drive like you normally do. I feel like God is saying that's natural. Like he's saying, take a moment right now to just think about all the things you overcome. Think about all the skills you have gained. This is a 9 of Cups, so which means there was 1 through 8. So which means you have been on an adventure. You have been on a long road. And I feel like what God is saying is take a deep breath before you start going on this final leg, because I really feel like, victory is right around the corner. So if you have been, feeling like maybe I'm doing too much, maybe I should step back, maybe I shouldn't be putting myself out there so much, God is saying no. Angel number 411, put yourself out there. This is your time to shine your light, but this is your time to shine your light and to transform your world. The tool that God wants you to really focus on is, I can transform my own world. This card says, make a list of positive aspects, make a list of the things you love, and never complain about anything. As you use those things that shine bright and make you feel good as an excuse to give your attention and be who you are, you attune to who you are, and the whole world will begin to transform before your eyes. It is not your job to transform the world for others, but it is your job to transform it for you. A state of appreciation is A state of appreciation is pure connection to source where there is no perception of lack. And so I feel like what the message that I was kind of getting as I was reading that card is that, like I was saying, with that shadow and with the shadow and this is so beautiful. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. 5, a lot of changes coming. Oh my God, 555, major life change coming in for you right now. I really feel like what God is saying is that you are about to approach a place of a big breakthrough. Like the things that you have been waiting for is on the way. Like, girl, it is coming. And so I feel like what God is saying is that you just need to focus all your attention on the life that you are trying to lead. It may be a lot of stuff that is going on around you that's just a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil. And I feel like what God is saying is do not put your attention on that. Instead, put your attention on the things that you want. You may be feeling like, oh, maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I should be helping people. Maybe I should be out marching. Maybe I should be protesting. Maybe I should be helping my family. And God is saying, no, it is your job to focus on you and make yourself the priority. So if you've been feeling like, if you feel like you're being selfish, God is saying, no, you're not. Continue to protect your energy, because right now, I feel like as you're going through this transition stage, God is saying, if you use that tool, if you focus on the things that you can control, you focus on transforming your own world, focus on just pouring light into yourself, pouring, the way that you contribute to the world is by stepping up and being the best person that you can be. The way that you, angel number 636, contribute to the world is by sharing your light, and that's by being just you. And so what God is saying, you're currently going through this process of temperance where, what do we see right here? You're learning how to balance your emotions. You're learning how to balance your wants and your desires. You're learning. You are in the point, not even learning. I feel like you are being the alchemist. You are learning how to co-create. And God is saying to manage it, because I feel like you're in that frail stage where you're like, am I doing the right thing? Is this crazy? And God is like, no, just keep going where you're going. Just keep focusing on the life that you want to live. And then eventually everything will fall into balance. Everything will fall into place, because the last and final message that God had for you is that you are going beyond the normal. And right away, I see this right away what's coming to me is that her third eye. And so as you can see, this person is in meditation and he's looking up, and this is where this card is also looking up, and it's a light bulb right here. What I feel like what God is saying is that maybe you have been searching for, answers, and you've been looking around you. You've been hoping that, your, people around you will validate what you're doing and say, yeah, you're doing a good job. But God is saying, only you are going to be able to feel that inside. Only you are going to be able to connect to God and be able to, go beyond the normal. And I feel like that's what he's saying. You need to tap in, shut down, put blinders on yourself and really focus on the life that you want to live. If you do that, then you will be able to go beyond the norm and completely transform your situation. I also feel like what God is saying is that there's a lot of red. So grounding, I feel like that's why he's saying focus on yourself, focus on what you're trying to create, and that will help keep you grounded during this phase of transition. And also we have a lot of blue and a lot of purple. So I'm thinking a lot of crown chakra with the third eye, and God is really, I feel like you're just in this phase of where you're elevating, like you've been through the struggle, and the dark days are behind you, like the struggle is behind you. And I feel like why God is saying it's so important on you to focus on transforming your world, because if you keep looking around you for validation, you keep looking for other people to help you get where you need to go, you're going to get yourself off balance. So what God is saying is go inward, focus on the light, focus on the things that you can do, focus on those positive aspects, take a time to appreciate how far you have come into your journey, and all of this will bring you into balance and help you transform your world and go beyond the normal. Angel number 929. So let's hear your final message with going beyond the normal. This will be your final message. On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder and more authentic and trusting way. Even if it seems riskier or less safe, To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mystery and magical, to rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. Oh my God. It is about choosing to honor. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you can enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There is a time and place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to squash our less rational but equally valuable decision-making tools. Intuition, feeling, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basis in logic or reason and still can be uncunningly accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan apt more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time to draw upon reliable methods and to prepare with certain tools. However, there's also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work here in a loose or even a detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressure around you from the out. Oh, I said all this. You may have pressure around you from the world or from your own conditional nature to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the acceptable mainstream view of you need, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It's far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it than rather to try to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially acceptable. This is good. This fringe-dwelling freedom, others might not see this about you straight away, as you seem pretty normal. But that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart and more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your conviction and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than to replace its natural spontaneity and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. Angel number 1550. Girl, you and them fives. Let me stop calling you girl because it'd be a guy. Whoever. Y'all them fives. Y'all, this major change is happening in your life right now. Let me calm down. As I was reading this message, I was kind of getting the message that you, as I was reading this, I was getting the message that you are in this place of, you have been just getting a lot of ideas and you want to do a lot. I feel like your dreams are bigger than your means and you don't understand how all of it is going to come about. And what this card and what this message is here to show you is that it's not your job to figure out how it's all going to come about. It's your job to just take the day-to-day steps to get yourself into balance so that you can be able to go beyond the normal. It's your job to just do what you can do right now and allow God and the universe and everything else to take care of the rest. God wants you to just focus on the love. He wants you to focus on your light. He wants to focus on you just having fun and allow him to do the rest. Angel number 17. So pile 1, that is all the messages that I have for you. If it was actually, let's just put your hand on your heart. I'm going to give you just this healing message. If you are serious about, becoming the full, learning how to take that leap of faith, learning how to navigate the rocky waters of change, the not rocky waters of spiritual awakening, learning how to break free from judgment, learning how to stop telling yourself stories of shortages and really focus on creating this abundant life that you want and transforming your world, then all you have to do is put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. I now call on unconditional love and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator, so that I may rise above small-mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love through my own free will, so be it. Ashe. May the wisdom and the guiding hand of the great May the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love nurture the garden of my soul into magnificent. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. Ashe. Power 1, I truly hope that this message was beneficial to you. Angel number 1830, do not be afraid to shine your light. Do not be afraid to put yourself out there. The world is yours. Just transform it. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Take care. Bye. All right, Power 2. Power 2. Actually, I'm going to write this down. 18. Power 2. You're at 1845. What's up, Power 2? How are you doing today? Putting that aside, this is actually one of my favorite stones. I know it's a transformation stone. I want to say it's lapradite or something like that. Don't give me the line. But it is a transformation stone, and I love it. So let's get into your reading. So I asked God, what is this? What do you need to hear? And I feel like what God wants you to do is to trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers that you seek. Maybe you have been just getting a lot of ideas. You have been thinking of a lot of changes that you want to make. But for some reason you are doubting yourself. Some reason you don't feel like, it doesn't feel like the right time for you. You've been observing the world and you don't necessarily feel like, this is the time for you to go out and try to do this adventure. But God is saying, yes, it is. He's putting it on your mind for a reason. He's asking you to do it for a reason. So it is your job to step up and make it happen. I asked God, what is your current energy towards your intuition and learning to trust your intuition? And it's a Six of Swords. And every time I see the Six of Swords, I see someone looking for a savior, someone looking for someone to help them, looking for someone to give them to save them, to give them the handout. But God is saying that can only come from you. Only you can create the life that you want to live. Only you have that information inside. Only you really know who you can become. Yeah, we have people out here in the world that can give us ideas and, glimpses and, projections of what we could be, but only you deep down inside know who you ultimately want to become. Only you can decide that, yes, this is my path and I am going to walk it no matter what. Nobody is going to come and save you. No one is going to come and be like, hey, let me, you're so talented, let me do this. No, especially if you're not putting yourself out there. I also feel like what God is saying, there's a need for you to, go within your emotions and not keep trying to run away from your emotions, but really be in your emotions and really listen to what they are trying to tell you. Your emotions are nothing but energy and motion. So it's giving you nothing but information. So meaning, I have an article on honestlysis.com about the truth about depression. So whenever you feel depression, sadness, it's like your body, your soul is trying to be like, hey, it's time to do something different. And instead of you taking that prompting and saying, okay, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to transform my life. I'm going to get out of these rocky waters. I'm going to become the fool and go on my adventure. You're still waiting for somebody to save you. Maybe you're waiting for, your mom to give you that permission to say, yes, this is something you can do, or yes, you are talented. Engine number 2222. Nobody's going to come and tell you that. Nobody's going to give you permission to live the life that you want to live. It's up to you. The tool that God is saying that you need to use in order for you to learn how to trust your intuition and to stop looking for someone to save you is to learn that it's not your role to make others happy. It is not my role to make others happy. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-empowering thoughts that align with who you really are, you will offer an example of thriving and will be of tremendous value to those who have the benefit of observing you. You cannot get poor enough to help poor people thrive or get sick enough to help sick people get well. You can only uplift from your position of strength and clarity and alignment. I was recently talking to my father. I forgot what we were just talking about, like life and going through changes. And he just told me, like, your journey is your journey. I know for me, I'm not even going to say we, I know for me, my whole thing was I didn't want to be alone on my journey. So I kept trying to pull people in, whether it was a boyfriend or whether it was a friend. Like I was so afraid of just going on this journey of my own. But when my dad told me that, like something just switched in my head and I'm like, you're right. Like I keep expecting, people to understand every leg of my journey or understand everything that I'm going, but it's not for other people to understand. It's for me to understand it. It's for me to have confidence to walk the path that I'm walking in. I feel like for you, you're trying to do something that you haven't seen done before. And in order to do something that you've never seen before or you never experienced before, you have to have a different mindset. And for one, you definitely can't be focused on your reality. You can't be focused on reality and all the things that are going on around you. We keep expecting, as we put ourselves out there, we want all of our friends and our families to support us and to cheer us on. But It's not their job to do that. And it's also not your job to be like, to be a sidekick to somebody. I feel like for some of you guys, I think you're too loyal. I think you do too much for someone who don't shoot shit for you, girl. And that's the real. That ain't the way love's supposed to feel. You say you don't like, that is how you are. You too fucking loyal. For what? We gotta. I was literally just reading Elaine book more than enough. We gotta break this fucking, and it's fucking hip hop who did it to us. We gotta break this ride or die mentality. We're fucking being so loyal to people who will leave us abandoned in the fucking ocean. We up here trying to hold somebody down when their energy is literally holding us back. God says you can't tell stories of shortages and experience lack. You holding on to this friendship. You holding on to this relationship. You holding on to all this shit because you're so afraid to put yourself out there. You're so afraid to just surrender. To be like, fuck it. This is the path that I'm walking. I'm going to follow my intuition. I'm going to trust my emotions. I don't give a fuck what nobody else thinks because it's not my job to worry about what other people think. Only you can go on this journey. Look how opposite that is. And honestly, I feel like this is like a word of caution. Normally I see this Fool card and it's like, yes, brand new beginning, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like what God is saying is that you don't be a fool. You keep holding on thinking, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And God is saying, you're going to fuck around, keep holding on and keep pushing yourself back. And you're going to fall off into the abyss. You're going to fall off your path because you're trying to be loyal to someone else. Angel number 2711. God's saying, let it go. We have to know we eventually outgrow people. Some people are just so entrenched in what they've been going. Some people don't even believe that they're worthy of having love, having a good friendship, having a easy and fun and bountiful life. Some people don't believe in abundance. A lot of people really feel like that's like just the 1%. Like a lot of people really, really, truly feel like life is supposed to be a struggle. And they will bring that shit into your life. And then your life become a struggle. And you ended up out here in abandoned in the ocean trying to get y'all some fucking help. Your ship about to sink because you trying to ride somebody else's wave instead of riding your own. I feel like this person had no business being out there. He wasn't even supposed to be in this with them. That's why he like, what the fuck? Help. Anyways, I'm getting off a tangent. God, I asked God, okay, so God, what happens if we recognize that it is not my role to make other people happy? What if we stop allowing other people to, get us off our course? What if we stop being super loyal to the wrong people? What if we stop looking for someone to rescue us and just go within? God is saying the Six of Pentacles. Then you will be able to come into balance. Then you'll be able to see your power. If you stop focusing on everybody else and you stop focusing on what everybody else has, or if you stop focusing on trying to make everybody else happy and just go inward, if you stop focusing on trying to find a savior and just see within yourself like, oh, damn, wait, I can do this. Oh my God, think about the times I've overcome this and blah, blah, blah. Your intuition have all the answers. Angel number 2905. And that's why I kind of feel like the message is, the reason why you can't hear your intuition is because you're so caught up in this drama with the other people. You're searching for an answer. You're searching to be saved. But the truth is the answer that you're looking for is inside of you. So until you stop looking for others to save you, until you stop waiting for the approval of others, you're never going to be able to see your true power. You're never going to be able to bring yourself into balance. And that's what God wants for you. He wants you to be able to go in balance. He wants you to move beyond these rocky waters into a new reality. He wants you to free yourself from judgment so that you can love and have the life that you want. I had to realize, like, I was holding on to this relationship, these I was keeping myself in this holding pattern for 2 years because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to let it go. I put so much work into it and blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, but what if it's something better? I always think about that picture of when God is asking the little girl to give her teddy bear up and he has like this big ass teddy bear in the back. That's the same thing with you. You have no idea what's on the other side of the things that we are holding on, and we'll never be able to get to it. We'll never be able to see our power if we keep holding on and keep looking to be rescued. Your final message, God is saying legacy of light. He's saying that the reason why, for one, the reason why you are going, you've been attracting the people that you've attracted in your life, all these people who want to be rescued by you, all these people who need your energy because of your light, because of who you naturally are. When you turn on the light and at nighttime, don't all them like bugs, they just be, surrounding the light. That's what's happening to you. But you're not aware of it. You're not aware that, oh, all these people are latched on to me because of how popping I am, because of how I light up, how I make them feel. See, you got to reverse. You thinking that they're pouring into you, but the truth is you're pouring into them. And so God is saying it's time out for that. It's time for you to stop saving people, and it's time for you to stop looking to save others. And it's time for you to really go inwards and know that it's your role to only make yourself happy. When you go inward, when you focus on yourself, you'll be able to trust your intuition. You'll be able to, move beyond these rough waters and be able to recognize your own power and know that you come from a legacy of light. All right, but let's hear this is your final message. How to? Let's get to it. Let me just take a drink because that was a lot. I really like these, but they be a lot. That's how I feel like I'm talking. Okay. Legacy of light. You're being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in spirit. Perhaps these are feelings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel, from the heart and with the belief in yourself. The more you are nourished by the legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. This is a sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright to refine and shine your essence into the world, to be like a sun, radiant and unapologetic of your nature. The oracle of the legacy of light comes to you when you need confirmation that a creative choice you are making or have made or soon will make is that in alignment with your sacred purpose and spiritual path of healing and growth. The legacy of light cannot be ignored without some detriment to your sense of well-being. If you were asking about a particular question and drew this card, then part of the answer to your question is that the issue at hand is one of utmost importance to your spiritual growth, even if it seems like a relatively insignificant question. The energy around this matter is relevant to your sacred birthright to shine. Perhaps you need to trust more, to know that all is well, no matter what appears to be, and to ask for help and believe that you deserve to receive it. The legacy of light also asks you to call on the unconditional loving support that exists for you every day. This light will offer you all matter of assistance. To not call upon it is like starving because you believe you have no means to acquire food whilst a feast lay before your eyes. If only you would partake of it. Perhaps you worry that you are asking too much of those who wish to assist you. However, this is mistaken belief. Those beings of unconditional love who assist us spiritually each day need to shine just as we do. When they are embraced for their purpose to assist with the spiritual growth of humanity through unconditional love, they too become a part of legacy of light, shining bright with love and helping to illuminate the world. Although you may doubt your goodness at times, and being human does mean that there are some very dark moments on your path, this oracle affirms that you are coming from love with the pure intention to simply live your life and do your best in the circumstances in which you find yourself. You are being asked to avail yourself of the help that is awaiting your request so that your own light can become a part of the greater shining legacy of divine brilliance made manifest upon the earth. This oracle is also guiding you to something in your family history or spiritual ancestry that is relevant to you now. Your spiritual ancestry can be recognized through the traditions and cultures you are intrigued by and interested in. They do not have to be the same as the spiritual traditions that you were raised in this lifetime, although they may be. The influence of your family history and/or spiritual tradition may be encouraging and constructive, but it may also be holding you back. Sometimes we unintentionally absorb the hidden fears of our parents or our religious upbringing, such as the belief that dreams cannot manifest or that we have to compromise to the point of losing what makes us truly feel alive. If you can relate to this or want healing just in case it is happening beyond the level of your conscious awareness, simply complete the healing process below. If you are involved in a group project, this oracle is asking you to stay true to your heart of why you began working together in the first place and to seek assistance, protection, and guidance from a source that loves all of you unconditionally. You can do this through the healing process below. Finally, if you need a jolt to recognize that you are a creative being, entitled to explore your ingenuity, perhaps through taking a class or pursuing your own artistic interests at home, then this oracle brings a particular guidance that, yes, this is a part of your life path. You are encouraged to take it further. You are also acknowledged through this oracle as having some special creative and healing offering to make to the world in this lifetime. You will leave a legacy of light for the greater good upon this planet. You will be lovingly supported in many ways by the great universal intelligence when you ask for help. If you do not know how, just do the healing process below. As I was reading this message, angel number 3724, I got another hit. So remember when I was saying this is like you looking for a handout or whatever? I honestly feel like this message with your intuition, I feel like what God is saying is that remember those times where you were crying out for God to help you, where you were crying out for change, where you were crying out for some type of assistance to be saved from a situation. God is saying your intuition, these nudges, these things, these thoughts that you have been getting on your mind, that is the answer to your prayer. And so he's saying, if you just will follow your intuition, stop worrying about what others think and how it looks to others, then eventually you will recognize that you will come into balance and you will recognize your power. You will start feeling like you are the legacy of light. You will start feeling like, okay, if I talk to God, he will listen, because you will see, you will follow your intuition and you will see how, the outcome manifest. That's how I kind of look at this. I look at this as this girl sitting here in like a meditation. And as she's meditating, as she's meditating, you see, this is her hair or whatever. As she's meditating, these are like all the requests that she's kind of sending out to the universe, all the things that she wants God to bring into her life, to help bring into her balance. As you see this back, back in here, it's like it's like red and orange. So red and orange is grounding. She's grounded. She's also secure in her sexuality, and then she's also standing in her power, because we see that shade of yellow. So God is saying, if only you would know that those times where you took that moment to meditate and to pray and to ask God for some guidance, that's the help that's coming. That your intuition is the answer to the prayer. You are looking for a physical handout or for somebody physically to come, and God is saying those intuitions are, because it says, trust your intuition. It is guiding you to the answers you seek. So that's what he's trying to get you to understand. I am answering your prayers. You think that God, that's what you need to hear. You think that God isn't answering your prayers and that God isn't listening to you, and he is. But because you're so caught up in everything that is going on around you, because it's not, the answer isn't coming how you think it is, you're missing it. So God is saying, go inwards, trust yourself. Know that you have this, this legacy of life. Know that you have this connection with God. And when you do get those intuition, you get that intuitional hit, or, your intuition tell you to do something, follow through with it. When you do, it will bring you into balance, and, it will transform your life. All right. Well, I like that. Okay. That was pretty good. That was cool. That's a turn. I still think it's very valid about, you being too caught up in others and the opinions of others. And you physically looking for a handout is still what God is trying to say, is that all of those answers is within you. And the answers to your question is that the thoughts, the random things that are coming, if only you will follow them, it'll bring you into balance, into the life that you want. All right, pile 2, let's put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me on this. Are you ready? Through unconditional love, I am open to receiving the support, guidance, protection, and assistance that I need to manifest the legacy of light that shines through me now. I release any conscious or unconscious attachments to beliefs or relationship patterns that hold me back from fully shining my light in the world. I ask that my creative journey be aligned with my spiritual path and blessed for the greatest good. So be it. Ashe. All right, pile 2. God is letting you know that it is totally up to you to create this life that you want to live. And if you want to create the life that you want to live, if you want to be the fool and go on this journey and to stop telling stories of shortages and to experience abundance, then God is saying the answer to your prayers are in your intuition. So it's up to you to follow through. What are you going to do? All right, pile 2. I will talk to you soon, or I'll see you in a video. That is all I have for you. Mwah. Take care. Bye. All right. Whew. Yeah, every time these pick a cards, we about to take it out of me. All right. Pile 3, let's get into it. How are you doing today, pile 3? Pile 3, I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what this crystal is. I want to say that it was in my, maybe it was in my transformation one. But this one you can tell, like, it's like very crystally. It has some blue and it has some white. So I feel like this is supposed to help us with like our speaking and stepping up and maybe transitions. Who knows? But it is a beautiful stone and my nails look horrible. I'm getting a new nail tech, y'all, but it's okay. All right, let's get into it. So the Starseed card, I asked God, what do you need to hear right now? And God says, by staying conscious of your thoughts, you guide your journey in the direction of your choice. And so I feel like what God, the question or the thing that you've been wondering about, and you're trying to figure out, how do I become the alchemist of my life? How do I go on this journey of becoming a fool and transforming my world? And God is saying that you become the alchemist of your life, and you go on this journey by being conscious of your choices, of being conscious of your decisions, and doing things in alignment with where you want to go. What do I mean by that? I'm saying that if you want to be an actor, then you have to start, putting yourself and acting in a way that an actor will act. So that means that, like an actor has to be conscious of their weight, and they have to be conscious of their confidence, and they have to, a lot of things with actors, they have to know their self. So it's like, you have to do the work. You have to prepare for where you are trying to go. You can't just, it reminds me of, I don't know if you watched Lovecraft, but if you did watch Lovecraft, that episode 7 where Hippolyta went into that time machine, excuse me, okay, I'm done, where she went in that time machine where she can name herself anything, and we saw that she was able to name herself everything, but even though she was able to pop over there, she still had to learn the tools and the techniques that it took to become, the warrior, the dancer, or whatever it is. And so what God is saying is that If you want to go on this journey to change your life, then you need to just start making conscious choices and conscious decisions to move yourself in the direction of your dreams. I ask God, what is your attitude? What is your energy towards, making conscious choices of, feeling like you have control of your life? And God is saying, this is the energy of death. And so I feel like what God is saying is that you are in this place of where you're ready to transform. I feel like you're in this place of where you're trying to get away from those things that make you feel less than. You're trying to get away from those things that make you feel like you need to shrink, or make you feel like, you can't live this life. Like, I really feel like you are dying to this belief that, that you have to, you have to experience poverty. Like, I feel like you're starting to stop telling yourself stories of shortages, and you're really starting to take yourself seriously about, creating change in your life and becoming the alchemist of your life. And so I asked God, like, what's a tool that you can use to completely die to this cycle of allowing people to overpower you, or being a slave to anything, of just really becoming the ruler of your own life and, really taking control over it. And God said he wants you to know that it comes not by magic, but by universal law. And so God says, start telling yourself a better story about the things that are important to you. Do not write your story like a factual documentary, weighing all the pros and cons of your experience, but instead tell the uplifting, fanciful, magical story of the wonder of your own life, and watch what happens. It will feel like magic as your life begins to transform right before your eyes, but it is not magic. It is by the powerful law of the universe and your deliberate alignment with those laws. Power 3. This message is actually hella powerful. Angel number 4633. So I actually have to come up because, oh my God, angel number 4, 3 plus 1 is 4, ascended masters, and then angel number 3, archangels, angels, ascended masters. So what God is trying to get you to understand, power 3, is that the way that you transform your life is not magic. Like, it's not, these people who have this overnight dreams and all that stuff, like, it's not magic. Like, there's no secret formula. There's nobody who's going to be able to tell you how to live the life that you want to live. God is saying all of that comes within yourself, and it all starts with you being conscious of your choices. So what this card is saying is that you just make a decision of what type of life you want to live, how you want to live it. God is saying, stop worrying about being like, oh, well, but do I have, or how is this going to happen? Is this, God is saying, stop worrying about all that. Like, stop. You can't tell yourself stories of shortages and experience abundance. God is saying, just focus on where you're trying to go. Just focus on feeding yourself the energy of feeding yourself, the stories of what you want. But he's saying, don't just feed yourself stories. Make sure that you're conscious of your choices. Make sure that you're doing things that are in alignment with where you're trying to go. So, which meaning, if you want to, I don't even know. I'm not even going to go into an example. But God is just trying to get you to understand that creation happens in 3 steps. It first happens in your thoughts, the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the actions you take. And so God is saying, as you are dying to this cycle, as you are realizing that you are able to consciously create your life, he wants you to know it's not magic. You're doing it by the thoughts you think. You're doing it by being conscious of your choices, and by actually, once you get into alignment, that's when it transforms. So it's not going to be a matter of like, it's going to be an overnight thing. And that's why I don't focus on like, let's just manifest a car or manifest. It's like, no, we want to manifest. We want to become the alchemist. The alchemist is you're able, anything that come across your mind, you can create. And that's why God is saying, you're going through this process right now. You're going through this transformation right now to learn how to become the alchemist of your life. He's telling you that it's not, he's telling you that it's not outside of you. It really starts with something as simple as making conscious choices on a day-to-day basis. That's it. He's saying if only you would just start being conscious of the life that you're living and being like, oh, do I want to do, like, does this make sense? Like, not doing things just because people say you're supposed to do it, but really being like, okay, this is going to benefit me. This is going to make me better. When you do that on a day-to-day basis, your life will completely transform, okay? God is saying, if you use this advice of this reading of understanding that, you can be conscious of your choices, that you can die from this cycle of poverty and all of that bullshit, learning to take control of your life by learning how to work with the law of attraction, then God is saying you become the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, I see a lot of blue. So I see a lot of somebody who's able to easily speak their truth. I also see like this man holding this blue ball. And so I feel like it's like somebody who is able to transform their world just by speaking. You have big dreams. There's a lot of stuff that you want to do. And you're like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it all. And God is saying, it ain't about you thinking about how to do it all. It's about you just taking the ball and taking the day-to-day steps to transform your life. Angel number 5030. Yeah, like I just see this. I actually see like, those tech billionaires that just be walking around in like sweats and like hoodie t-shirts and shit. Like God is saying that can be you. Like there's no limit. And that's what it is. He's saying there's no limit. Stop judging yourself for the things that you want. If you want to have abundance, then it's fine. Like that's your birthright. Don't judge yourself for what you want. Your last message, because God is saying you're free to love. You're free to love. You're moving out of this God is saying you're moving out of this cycle of navigating of choppy waters, of turmoil, of being a slave to someone. You're moving to this place where you're completely balanced, where you're in control, and where you're transforming your world. You're learning how to not only transform your world, but also materially, like being like a business-minded person. Pentacles deals with money and business. And so that's where I feel like God is trying to get you to understand that if you want to be a business-minded person, or if you want to be a billionaire, then there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to start making choices and start moving in a way that will make you be a billionaire. How can you be a billionaire? You ain't even got no fucking businesses. Like, you're not doing anything but working a 9-to-5. You're not going to get to $1 billion by working a 9-to-5. So God is saying, be conscious of your choices, make the decision of what you want to be, and then just keep walking in that direction of that. Your final message is being the sacred fool. And I think that's so appropriate because the fool actually came out. So double confirmation that God is saying you can become the alchemist, that you are currently in. I kind of feel like you're like in this cycle where you're dying to, I feel like you've died to that way. Like where you're like, you made up your mind that I don't want to live life how I've been living it. I really want to try to live life abundantly. I really want to experience life like those 1%ers. Like, I'm going after my dreams. Like, I feel like that's the energy that you have. And God is saying, keep thinking like that. Keep that same energy. Keep that same focus. Now, to add to that, on a day-to-day basis, you just have to stay conscious of your choices. If you do that, you will end up being the businessman that you want, be grounded, be able to easily speak your truth, be able to easily bring anything and transform your world the way that you want. But your key focus is going to have to be on stop judging yourself. God is saying you have to stop judging yourself from the things you want. You can be whoever you want to be. The choice is yours. The final message I have for you is angel number 40, becoming the sacred fool. All right. Next time I may only do 3. All right. The fool is a great rebel, able to thaw convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not about the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. This oracle heeds a time, now or intimate, when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It is to say, It says to you, don't try to be appropriate. Don't try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think of what you're doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing this, so fine. The sacred fool in you is calling you. The sacred fool in you is willing to, excuse me. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could be playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So the sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into the joy by your heartstrings, not to be feared, not into fear or doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. This oracle brings you a message. It is time for you to play. It is time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left or field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This may not feel safe or appropriate at first. That is okay. This is good, actually. It is a sign that you are breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of light to cooperate more radically through you so that you can become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicities can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the randomness of life. Apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The sacred fool goes with this without having to understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even a genius glimpse of life, unphantomed genius will probably make one head explode. As you take this journey, you may find that people are around you are challenged. You might are a challenge. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they think their lives. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The sacred fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it wills. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. If you find yourself making choices that have others questioning your sanity, then you are on the right track. You may feel that you are quite possibly going insane, but you are not crazy. You are just approaching enlightened awareness. There is a moment, sometimes a rather long one, when we wake up to life, shred our attachments to mass opinions, and float into a completely different state of being. We might find that no one is really able to understand or connect with us, to the point that we question our state of mind. Stay with that. It will pass. You will eventually see that you are becoming sane in an insane world. The tables will turn and you will gain greater inner freedom and creative juices. Stay on your path. Stay on your journey. Remember, take nothing too seriously. It will all work out perfectly. And so, pile 3, I feel like right now you are currently going through a cycle of where it's like a lot of loss. You're losing a lot of friends. I feel like you are, and maybe not losing a lot of friends. It's just like you don't feel connected to the people that are around you like you used to. And maybe that's making you question yourself. Maybe that's making you question the journey that you are on. And what God is saying, angel number 4811, is that don't question your journey. You're just going through this period of death. And you have to understand that after death, there's a moment of rebirth. There's a moment of where everything that you lost will be returned to you. And so what God is saying is that just keep staying conscious of your choices. Just keep making decisions that support the sacred fool inside of you, that supports the life that you ultimately want to lead. Don't judge yourself. And you can't tell yourself stories of shortages and experience lack. So you can't be saying, oh, I'm a fucked up person, and then expect all these blessings to come in. Everybody is in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I feel like right now, you're just in a season of where you are removing those old things. You're getting rid of those things that no longer serve you so that you can truly get to the life that are for you. So don't be afraid to be the sacred fool. Don't be afraid to go on this journey and on this adventure to change your life. It's not going to happen by magic. It's just going to happen by you making conscious choices and by you becoming into full alignment with the laws of attraction. All right, pile 3, put your hand on your heart and agree with me as I say this. I call on the sacred full of unconditional love. Please help me access the lightness of spirit, your wisdom and your ability to exist in the heart of truth, to be powerful without becoming attached or obsessed by power. I honor your vision. May I see and know so truly and be free. I choose of my own free will to give myself absolute permission to just be myself, now and always, through unconditional love, mercy, and compassion. So be it. Ashe. All right, pile 3, that is all the messages I have for you. I truly hope that it was beneficial for you. If you made it to the end of this, please give me a thumbs up. If not, please give me your key takeaways down below. If not, then I guess I'll see you around in the next video on this YouTube. Mwah. Take care. Go on that journey. Be the sacred fool. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right. Pile 4. We have made it, baby. Let's clap it up. We're an hour into it, but we don't give a fuck. We don't care. This might be the longest, the longest video I've created. But it's okay. I feel like I'm loving these messages that are coming out. So powerful. You have another one of my beautiful stones. I have no idea the name, but because it has like all this blue and this white, I feel like this is dealing with like the throat chakra. Like probably something to deal with my creativity and stuff like that. But we'll see. But this is the one you chose. So I asked God, what is it that you need to hear right now? And God said, what you need to hear right now, pile 4. What you need to hear right now is that being creative is a wonderful way of witnessing the unfolding of your limitless potential. And so I feel like, pile 4, you have been doubting your own creative nudges. Like you have been doubting. I know when I first started my journey, I hate calling it a journey because it's like really life, right? But I remember like my whole thing was because I went to school for accounting, I just didn't understand like where this writing came from, where all this like all this creative stuff. And I felt like I was it was like the imposter syndrome. Like I felt like I was trying to be somebody that I wasn't, who I wasn't. And so I did this Reiki night at my hot yoga studio. And we did like this the shamanic drumming meditation. And like, it kind of like transported me back to like my childhood, and I was able to see myself in plays and myself in singing groups. And I really recognized that this creativity was always inside of me. I always was this creative child. I always had these big dreams of being in movies and all of that stuff. It's just that over time, life, my parents, like all that stuff just fucked me up, and it got me to forget who I truly was inside. And so pile 4, I feel like what God is trying to get you to remember is that those things that you are doing, those natural urges that you have, it's already inside of you. Like it's just who you are. This isn't new. This isn't random. Like it's just who you are. And so God is saying to trust it and to follow through. I asked God, what is your energy towards being creative and understanding that, it is your birthright to be a creative being, and God is saying that you're focused on the motherfucking goal. I feel like this message is really truly just confirmation that you are on the right track and you're doing what you need to do. You have this vision in your mind. You have this vision of what you want to create in this life that you want to live. And I feel like what God is saying is to keep focusing on your vision. Keep focusing on the things that make you happy, because eventually you're going to look up and your life is going to be completely transformed. I ask God, what is a tool that you can use to stay focused on, to stay focused on your 10 of cups, to stay focused on where you're going, and to really, really harness this power of being a creator, of not only being a creator with, your art inventions and, your fashions, but to really be the co-creator of life. God is saying, recognizing that you are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe. And the card says, you live in a pulsating, vibrating universe of advanced harmonics. Everything that exists in your air, in your dirt, in your water, and in your bodies is vibration in motion. And all of it is managed by the powerful law of attraction. There's nothing that exists outside of this vibrational nature. And as you learn to accept that your vibrational nature in being to consciously, read this over. There is nothing that exists outside of this vibrational nature. And as you learn to accept your vibrational nature and begin to consciously utilize your emotional vibrational indicators, you will gain conscious control over your personal creations and the outcome of your life experience. And so let's break this down. It says that there's nothing that exists outside of the vibrational nature. So which means everything is vibration in motion. So which means everything, we know that everything is vibration in motion, right? And we know that like is attracted to like, right? So God is saying that if you don't have the life that you want to lead, if you are not at the 10 of cups that you want to have, the only reason why you're not there is because right now you're not a vibrational match. And so what God is saying is to just keep focusing on your 10 of cups. Keep focusing on the life that you want to live. Keep focusing on being a fool and moving beyond rocky waters. Keep focusing on your 10 of cups, like when chaos come up, when turmoil come up, focusing on your 10 of cups and not getting swayed and lost. God is saying that is how you will be able to transform your world. You'll be able to transform your world. God is saying as you begin to consciously utilize your vibrational indicators is your emotions. That's your energies, emotions. So when these moments of, strife and turmoil come up, when you start paying attention to it and you acknowledge it and say, oh yeah, this is coming up because this job makes me feel like shit and I don't want to ever feel like that. I will make sure that I would never let my employees feel that way. So we're saying anything negative come up, you switch it and continue to keep focusing on a positive. What God is saying is that eventually you will look up and you will have complete fucking healing. I didn't even know this card was here. I'm sorry, y'all, the first one I'm getting high. I didn't even know this card was here. Anyway, so God is saying the life that you want to live is possible. You have the power to do it. And it's not, and the only reason why it's not here yet, the only reason why you don't have it yet is just because you're not a vibrational match for it yet. And so what God is saying is to just keep focusing on your healing. Just keep focusing on paying attention to your emotions, transmuting your pain. No longer telling yourself stories of shortages, so that you can experience the lack that you want. Freeing yourself from judgment. If you do that, ultimate healing will come to you. I also feel like whatever this creative adventure whatever this thing that you have, your 10 of cups, like I feel like this could be a book. This could be this could be a book. This could be a lifestyle. This could be a partner that you're thinking about. Whatever this is, I feel like it's not only going to be healing to you, but also healing to the world. Because look at this multiple skies. Like it's just a starry ass night. So I feel like it's going to just bring complete healing to not only you, but the world. Your final message, group 4, is that God is... You can't make this shit up. What is that? Angel number 520. Release the dark womb and let love live. God is saying you free from judgment. You free from shortages. It's time for you to move beyond these rocky waters. God is saying whenever you find yourself in rocky waters and you focus on your 10 of cups, as you are on this is how it goes. You're on this full journey. As you are being this creator, when your back is against the wall, God is telling you to focus on your 10 of cups, to focus on where you're headed, to focus on your creations. If you do that, focus on you being a vibrational being. If you do that, then the world is yours and you'll have total healing. Look at that. This is what God's trying to get for you. On the journey, navigating turmoil, chaos, rocky communication. Instead, you focusing on your 10 of cups and where you're going, total healing will come. All right, group 4, let's read your final message. Angel number 25. I feel like y'all's was like the quickest. All right, let's go. If you detach something from its source too soon, trying to force it to become what it is not ready or willing to become, we can unintentionally sap it of its strength and kill it. There is a dark womb in the consciousness of humanity which demands perfection and denies progress. If you are thinking of publishers before you have even written the book, if you are comparing your unfinished song to the latest best-selling pop release, if you have decided you are not good enough or worthy enough to succeed before you even given it everything you got and ask for divine help, then this dark wound has you in its grasp. You have to let go of the death grip of perfectionism and allow and let yourself and your ideas live. Love is abundant, creative, and inspiring. It moves us so much more joyously and creatively than fear. You are being asked to honor the path of your own love. What inspires you? What it feels exciting, joyful, and perhaps even rather different? Let that live. Release the dark wounding of false belief. There are countless stories of vastly successful artists who very nearly blinded the project that was the making of their career because of the despair fostered by their own dark nature. They doubted, they were uncertain. Was their work any good? Was it useless? They struggled to believe in the right to work. They struggled to believe in the right of a work to come to life, whether it was accepted, revered, or rejected by others or not. They nearly lost their work to fear. Undoubtedly, there have been many times when this has actually happened and the work was not saved, not allowed to live. Do not let this happen to you. Whether something is meant to be a commercially oriented venture or a more personal creation for your own therapeutic healing, it must be allowed to be, without judgment, without criticism, and even without premature evaluation. It must be allowed to be what it is, and only time, love, patience, and attention will reveal it. If you have drawn this card along with we did not, if you don't, this message is on the, okay. So, God is pretty much saying that I feel like as I was reading that, I was getting, of course, another message. God is saying that I feel like for some of you guys, you have very big plans. Like you have a creation that you want to do, and you're thinking about, instead of like just focusing on, like, so say for example, you want to create a movie. You have this idea for this movie, and instead of just writing the movie that you want to create, you're worried about, well, how am I going to get it financed? How am I going to get people in it? How am I going to get a production? Where am I going to shoot it? You're worried about all these other outside factors instead of just focus on doing the first step. You're so focused on your 10 of cups. You're so focused on where you're trying to go that you're not doing the little bitty steps to get there. What God is saying is release the perfectionism, release thinking that you're going to know every single step of the way, because you're not. What God is trying to get you to understand is that you don't have to know how you're going to get to the 10 of cups. All you have to know is that you are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe, and that it's your right to be a creative being. That's your birthright. All you need to focus on is of creating whatever it is that you want in the world. Focus on doing that part. Once you focus on, healing yourself, once you focus on, healing the need to know every single thing, then your creations will be able to birth to life. Then you will be able to see that manifestation that you're looking for. But the reason why it's not happening is because you're so focused here. You're so focused on the 10 of cups and the outcome and how it's all going to come together that you haven't even started the basic steps. Every single part of the journey is relevant. Every single part of the journey is necessary. But for you have to allow yourself to go through that journey. You got to stop thinking about the outcome before you even start. I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like you have these creations and these ideas that you want to do. And you maybe even have things that you have been working on. But because you're so in your head and you're so wanting it to look like that 10 of cups, that you're not even allowing yourself to be whacked. Like you're not even putting yourself out there because you just want it to be perfect automatically. But what this card is trying to get you to understand is that whether the thing that you're working on is going to be a major success or whether it is just for you to get the healing, you still have to do it. That's what we have to understand. These things that, I've been working on my book for 7 years. I still have to do it. Whether it's, I have to see that process through. Regardless of whether it's going to be, whether it's going to end up how I think it's supposed to end up or not, I have to do that because that's where my healing is coming. I feel like what God is trying to get you to understand is that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. He's trying to get you to just embrace it, embrace the step, and stop taking everything so seriously. Allow yourself to just do something without worrying about the outcome. I feel like yours, it's like if I can't make money off of it or if I can't see how this is going to help me, I'm not doing it. Or I don't want to put it out there. And it's not for that. You don't know how the laws of the universe going to work. You don't know how God has this all designed. So release that need to know, release that need to be perfect and to feel like you have it all together, because you don't. If you did have it all together, you would be where you were supposed to be, right? It's time to change your attitude. It's time to change your focus. It's time to take a step back from focusing on that 10 of cups and starting to do the first step. All right. Pile 4, put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. I now choose of my own free will to release. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got like a wave of nauseousness just went through me. Oof. I wonder what that means. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, let me finish. I now choose of my own free will to release all cellular memories and belief system based in a dark room of criticism, judgment, shaming, and fear, so that my creative, loving energy may thrive in a nourishing environment conducive to growth through all time and space, through all dimensions of my being, through unconditional love. So be it. Ashe. What I got was, some of you guys, you're so sick and you're so scared of being rejected. You're so scared to put yourself out there, of people not understanding it, that you're not putting yourself out there. And the thing is, you're never going to know unless you do it. Like, I can, like, the thing is, I'm going to be honest right now that out in this, I keep going back and forth about this. No, I'm not going back and forth anymore. I made up my mind. But before, I was going back and forth about this YouTube channel. And I'm just like, this is just, am I supposed to be doing this? Like, I'm putting so much time and energy into this, and like, I'm really not getting a whole bunch of results. Like, but I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I feel like I just had to come to this conclusion that no matter where it leads, no matter where it's supposed to take me, I just have to follow it. I have to be true to myself. I have to allow this to be what it's going to be. I can't, what if I quit right now and not finish the plan that I have? Where would I end up? What if the funny thing is, like, it's like, what if, I say I've been put out maybe 122 videos, and what if I'm like, I put out 122 videos, I only got 42 followers, I'm done. And what if the blessing came at 150 videos? You see what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm trying to say? Go through the process. Stop worrying about how it's going to look. Stop worrying about the end result and just do the shit. Okay? All right, Power Forward. That's all I have for you. If this message was beneficial for you, please, please, please. Oh my God, and Defend It to the End did come out. Oh my God, it sure did. Anyways, that is all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of this video, please, 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 what God is saying, because I hear somebody being like, what did that mean? 5, change is coming. Look, 5. Big change is coming. God is saying, if you recognize that you are a vibrational being, if you recognize, what God is saying is, it's not that you can't get this 10 of cups. You can get the 10 of cups. He wants you to defend it to the end. He wants you to put your time and your energy into it. But what he also wants you to do is to balance you looking to that 10 of cups so much and just start doing the day-to-day steps. Like, don't get so caught up in where you are ultimately trying to go, that you're not doing those baby steps. Okay, I'm done. I keep repeating myself. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you, Power 4. If you made it to the end of this video, please give me your key takeaways. If not, at least give me a thumbs up. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you. And never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Namaste. Take care, y'all. See you in a video soon.